Yes. Welcome back to another stream. Apologies, we're a little bit late. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. We're always late. But apologies, we're a little bit late. Me and LB was going through an insect gate. I had flies attacking me, and LB had moth gate. So bad times. Hope everyone's good. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know that every time that we go live, it's transfer season. It's in full flex. It is in full flex, and things are popping off, bro. It's like breaking news season, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is starting to pop off. I wonder why it's happening so early. Maybe people want to get the deals done quick.
Well, we're back into pre-season rapid, innit?
Yeah,
It's like 4 weeks and everyone's back in pre-season again. So maybe City are just trying to move fast and get it straight in.
I'd also say as well, it feels quicker for us because we've only just finished a season. Most other teams finished their season 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Or nearly 3 weeks. In fact, 3 weeks ago this weekend, everyone else finished. City didn't finish until last weekend. So that's probably why it feels a lot quicker for us as well. But yeah, Gvardiol. We've got some news on Gvardiol, guys. Let's have a look. Maybe it's time for a little timeline.
Timeline mode.
I think so.
It's been ages, bro. Been ages since a timeline.
Yeah, it has been a while, and yeah, things are picking up now. So let me get the timeline up. Right, here we go. Timeline. So let's go back to where should we go back to? I don't go too far. Let's go back to March. Here we go. So Matty Moretto said Juventus are looking for a left-footed centre-back with Manchester City's Laporte on their agenda. An operation would be complicated, especially due to the finances, but the Serie A club are observing his situation with interest. He also said it's therefore no coincidence that Manchester City are now looking at Gvardiol as a potential replacement. We got Florian Plettenberg, come out. He's a Sky Sport presenter on March 28th. He said Leipzig officials definitely want to keep Gvardiol until 2024 and are not considering a sale this summer, even if an offer of around 100 million euros came in. That would not change the club's mind. Because I remember doing that at the time. I remember talking about that on a stream, saying, "Oh, are they just going to refuse to sell him?" Things have developed since then. Sergio Fernandez. At Relevo has said Manchester City have all the confidence in the world of signing Gvardiol this summer, and selling an existing member of the defence is a great incentive in favour of reaching an understanding with all parties. That was on April the 24th. And then we got a bit of a bombazzo. Jack Gaughan came out on May the 18th and said Gvardiol is on Manchester City's list of targets should Guardiola want to reshape his defence this summer. However, Leipzig are setting an asking price of more than £85 million if they are to sanction a sale. 4 days after that, we got David McDonnell from The Mirror said Guardiola and Tiki have drawn up a list of targets with Manchester City keen to move early once the transfer window opens. McAllister and Ciso, Kimmich and Gvardiol are all on the list. So he says Gvardiol is on the list. We then got Bild on May the 23rd. Leipzig are ready to talk now with Manchester City about Gvardiol. Officially, the defender is not for sale unless anyone comes in with a 100 million euro offer, as the club finances need to be balanced out. So 100 million euros is around 85 million quid. So that sort of matched up with Jack Gaughan. May the 31st, Man City have made Gvardiol one of the key players to sign at centre-back this summer. Gvardiol have spoken, and Manchester City have spoken with the players' representatives and are confident that a deal will be done this summer. The Croatian is keen to join. June the 1st, so we're now into June. Paul Hurst at the Times. Gvardiol will tell Leipzig that he's open to a move this summer to Manchester City.
That's pretty big, that as well, from Paul Hurst as well.
Yeah, he then said Gvardiol has a 114 million euro release clause in his contract, but Leipzig are willing to sell him for around 100 million euros. Man City rate Gvardiol as one of the best left-footed centre-halves in Europe. And that's kind of where we've been for a while. I don't think we've spoke about it too much after that, but then we've got some more news. June the 4th, James Ducker at The Telegraph. Manchester City are ready now to intensify interest in Gvardiol, who is thought to be open to a move to the club. Man City are long-term admirers of the defender and consider the 21-year-old an ideal long-term replacement for Imminent Laporte should he leave. 6 days after that, Jack gone. Manchester City are ready to intensify their interest in Leipzig's Gvardiol, valued at £85 million, with Gvardiol, with Laporte expected to seal a move away in the summer. So basically exactly the same as what James Ducker said, but just 6 days later. So it seems to me that they probably have the same source on this one.
Yeah.
4 days ago, Fabrizio Romano. Man City considered Gvardiol as the top transfer target and has been on their transfer list since last year. Talks have already taken place with the defender keen on the move. Leipzig would only sell for a huge fee, the most expensive centre-back ever. And then what prompted this stream today is 1 hour ago, Fabrizio Romano said Manchester City are now advancing on a deal for Gvardiol on the player's side. Negotiations on personal terms are progressing well. Leipzig will only sell Gvardiol for a huge fee. Otherwise, they will keep him for one more season.
See, it's like the start, like it all was weird, wasn't it? It was like the reason that we kind of died off on the Gvardiol thing was when, obviously, at the start of it, when there was rumours that he was just happy to stay for another year and the price was massive, and the Leipzig were like, we're not selling regardless of what price you put on this. But as you can see, it's like, as it's gone on, the talks must have been going on for quite a while now with Leipzig, and clearly both teams are coming to some form of agreement. They are coming to, basically, because there was an unwillingness to sell Gvardiol from the off at the start of it. However, now they're looking at it, and it looks like they're probably looking at it going, well, yeah, we don't want to miss out on this. Like, it's big cash. And €80 million, I mean, I think in the market nowadays is fucked anyway. And you're going to be getting one of the best. If Pep regards him as one of the best centre backs in Europe, yeah, I trust it. I trust it. I genuinely think it's time to get excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
I think we've gone from. Well, I think, you know what I mean, we could potentially Kovacic and Gvardiol could be like done very soon if it's advancing like this, and that's coming out from Fabrizio.
Exactly. And he's an experienced player, played 109 times as a centre-back, 36 times as a left-back. He's played 87 times for Leipzig, and he's played already 21 games for his national team, Croatia. So he's pretty experienced for his age, only being 21, and he's 21 back in January. So he could be the long-term replacement for Laporte, and I think that he suits the Premier League for me. He looks more physical than Laporte, and I think that's maybe where Laporte struggled at times. Not a lot, but that's probably his one weakness, is he's just not quite physical enough. And on the ball, Gvardiol looks very good. He's very strong, pacey. He looks like a great player, and therefore the fee will justify the hope and potential on the player, and it will be around £80 to £85 million. But you're going to get 40 to 50 million quid for Laporte. So, your net spend on that is probably going to around 40 million. And for a player that could be at the club for 12, 13, 14 years, if everything goes well, City will see that as a great deal. And the facts are, Laporte is leaving this summer, and we need to replace him. And we need to replace him with a left footer, ideally, as you've got Akanji, Diaz, and Stones are right-footed players. So you do need to replace him with a left-footed player. This is probably the best one that they can see. And it looks like a great deal. I'm excited for this one. I really am.
I'm excited for it. Like we've said, it's like two birds in one stone. We've said that for a long time, but the fact that he can play left back and centre back, I think is really, really good for the squad. Pep loves versatile players. I think obviously Laporte leaving, we always knew that we wanted to go get someone big. I know Akanji did play a lot of football this year, however, and obviously you got Stones and Diaz and stuff, but you'd expect us to replace Laporte with someone who is world class, and that is the way that we're moving. It's going to be cash, but we've got the cash. Mm-hmm. We generally have this money. We just got £300 million for winning all these trophies. Yeah. And then I think now, if we would have signed Jude Bellingham, maybe this deal wouldn't have happened. Maybe the fact that we fully missed out on Jude Bellingham, the club were like, right, we'll allow that. We'll spend all that cash on a centre back instead. I don't know, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy with like. It's a big fee, but I think he'll be worth it, bro. I think he'll smash it in the Prem.
I do. I think he's a top player. I think he's gonna be really, really good for City. Um, I'm expecting good things. Big up Nick Toll with a couple of super chats. Said, think this will unsettle some players like Ake. I don't think so. I can say for me, Ake starts the season. I think Gvardiol starts on the bench and has to work his way into the team, but he will work his way into the team.
He'll definitely work his way in.
And this says, so this mean we stick into the centre backs over full back system? Potentially.
I think so. And obviously, there's news of Kyle
change?
Walker leaving as well. Do you know what I mean? Could we see a situation where John Stones goes over to right back instead of that CDM role if Declan Rice comes in? Do you know what I mean? There's loads of different variations that this can happen, but I think we're going full sending no full back FC. I just think that's the way we're doing it, or at least getting players who can play full back. And like Pep said after the Champions League, bro, this team loves to defend. It loves to defend now, so we're going getting big Donny defenders rather than like your Cancelos. You're basically your fullbacks who can attack, and they lack a little bit in defensive ability. Like we're going the other way around, and then just allowing what they can do going forward. But like these players are all improving. I think he'd improved Gvardiol. Look at Akanji. He played the killer pass, which led to the Rodri goal going forward. Yeah. The centre backs have a massive job in the build up of the way that we play football.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've gone for players who are more solid, man. I think that he's going to be. I think that he's going to be sick, man. And I think he's going to be a great signing. And funny enough, Massum now, I was just going to say that this signing now might mean that City probably won't go in the market for a fullback unless Kyle Walker leaves, which I still think is unlikely. So, bro, I think we're moving in that direction. How
mad is it, right? Every single season, halfway through the season, we always talk about us signing a fullback. And then by the end of that season, we're always like, we're not going to go get a fullback. It just always happens that way. It always happens. We always talk about signing fullbacks, everything like this. Then the season happens and you're like, yeah, maybe not.
We got some breaking news coming here, actually, bro. Something separate about another Croatian. Breaking news from James Ollie at ESPN. Manchester City are on the brink of completing a deal worth £34 million to sign Chelsea midfielder Mateo Kovacic.
Oh,
City on the brink. City on the brink of signing him.
It's happening, bro.
So it's looking likely. And Fabrizio has also just tweeted on it. Manchester City advancing also on a club side to get Kovacic deal done as soon as possible. Personal terms are 100% agreed. Kovacic wants the move.
35 million, man. 35 mil for Kovacic. I'm gassed about that signing. I think that's such a good signing. Getting two Croatians in the side, bro. What we're doing? We've won the Champions League now.
Yeah, I think this is great business. I really, really do. I think City are moving quite well in the transfer market. The only thing that I'm a bit worried about is the outgoings, but from the incomings, it's a slow burner. But it looks like the Kovacic deal is over the line, and of course, if you believe what I've just read out, it sounds to me like this is going to happen any day now, really. But yeah, Kovacic in £34 million for a man of his experience. As Golo and Gol says in the chat, that's a bargain. That is a steal. That, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's such a good deal. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I love it when City move fast, but then I also like it when it drags out, for the full transfer window. But it's sick that we're getting these signings in. Like getting Kovacic in for that cheap is mint, and then obviously going this Gvardiol thing is next level. I think it's bolstering the squad massively in two places that we need it. Like you say, the outgoings are where I'm more concerned about, like your Riyad Mahrez and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how City move there. But we're kind of getting an idea of City's transfer market. So that's something that we didn't really know the way that was going to move. So I'm gassed. I think that Kovacic deal could get done anytime now.
Well, James Ollis also said that it's going to be done by June 30th.
Wow, so basically in the next 2 weeks, Kovacic done.
Kovacic done. And I think part of that is due to the fact that Chelsea need deals done by July 1st. So due to FFP regulations. So yeah, it sounds like that's going to be done in the next 2 weeks. 34 million quid, honestly, for a guy of his experience is unbelievable. It really, really is. I'm going to get his experience up again. Check this out, yeah. So 94 games for Croatia. He's still only 29, by the way. 94 games for Croatia. By club, 97 games for Inter Milan, 109 games for Real Madrid, 221 games for Chelsea. Champions League, he's played many, many games in the Champions League, and he's very, and obviously he's won the Champions League, so he's very, very experienced in that department. He's played 267 times as a central midfielder. He's played 97 times as a defensive midfielder. He's played 30 times as an attacking midfielder. He's played left wing 11 times, and he's played as a second striker 5 times. This is just a great signing, man. It's a bargain.
It's a bargain.
It's a great price.
But boy's 29. He's past it.
Big up Massam says, from 11 mids to 11 centre-backs now, Pep's doing a madness. He's doing a madness, but it's a great signing, Gvardiol. Ruben says that now that we have done the treble, would you be okay with a transition season with the small chance we don't win as much next season? Well, I think there's a big chance we won't win as much next season, bro. You know what I mean? Although you could argue that given the fact that we're now in for 7 trophies, that might not be the case. But yeah, I mean, it might be a chance. It depends who goes. We'll have to wait and see who exits the football club. And Fraudson says, who can afford Laporte should offer him to Spurs? I think if you're offering him for like 45, 50 million, I think any clubs that have that sort of cash available would be very, very strange if they didn't make a move, because he's still a great player. Yeah. He's an exceptional player. For 50 million quid, great price. It's probably a bargain.
I don't understand the Laporte thing. I just don't understand why there's not more clubs like ready to snap him up like this. I think it's quality. So
yeah, there might be. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? But it's we're not really seeing too many links.
There's no links in it. Like, yeah, and all the links are to teams like Spurs and Newcastle, things like that. And when I was expecting him to go to like a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or something. That's what I expected it to be, just somewhere where, and I reckon he'd start in those games as well because he's sick.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll have to see what he does, but he's obviously going to leave, especially if Gvardiol's coming in, because Gvardiol's the Laporte replacement, isn't he?
Yeah, straight away. And it was very clear Laporte's leaving just by us advancing on a deal to sign Gvardiol. That's very, very, like, both deals make sense, but they're both in check. Wasn't he linked with Bilbao? I didn't see that either. I didn't see that.
Yes, he was linked with Bilbao. And I think he's been linked with PSG.
PSG is a big one, to be fair. They could like double deal Bernardo Laporte.
Yeah.
And give us Mbappe. Neymar. We need a winger in it, so we don't need a centre back. Go give us Neymar. We'll give you the Bernardo and Laporte. Man.
Honestly, man, getting these players in, 2 Croatians.
Yeah, 2 Croatians.
Seems like good news to me.
It is. We're vibing already, man. The transfer window's only been open 2 days.
Yeah. Aaron in the chat's put, why aren't we going for Maddison?
I thought we would be going for Maddison, to be honest. I said quite a lot. I thought our summer would be Maddison and Kovacic in the mid. But it kind of just died off.
Maybe if Pep just decided that Phil Foden is the midfielder, that's probably why. He'll probably rather, because then you'd have to play Maddison right wing, which he has been playing a lot this season, but you'd rather just go and get an actual right winger. So that would be my belief, is that Pep's now decided that he wants Foden in the mid, not Maddison. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if Maddison comes in, then Maddison's playing in the midfield, and then Foden's not playing in midfield.
I think he's deciding to full send midfield Foden and go for a winger instead.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But yeah, I mean, things are looking good, man. You know what I mean? Like, what's our net spend going to be so far? So it'll be 85 million quid on Gvardiol, or no, 80 million quid on Gvardiol, and then 34 million quid. So what's that, like 114 million on 2 players so far?
Yeah,
that's not too bad as well, because you're going to be getting 40 million off Laporte, so then you're back down to around 74 million. Then you're going to get 50 to 60, say 60 million for Bernardo. So you're only around about 15 million pound net spend at that point. And then you're going to have to probably sign one winger at the least. That'll probably cost you 60 million. So you're back up to around a net spend of 70 million. And then obviously you're going to sell a few academy players, get around 30 to 40 million pound in from the academy players. So you could have a net spend of around 20 to 30 million pound this year.
Which is mad.
Oh, Cancelo? Yeah, I don't think Cancelo will be sold, though. I think he'll be loaned. I just don't see anyone buying him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, net spend's going to be looking good, man.
Someone just said new Fabrizio tweet. Darcy saying new Fab tweet again. Or are you talking about the one from before? Yeah,
Maurer and Kovacic. Man City and Chelsea are in direct contact. Talks are taking place. The expectation is for the deal to happen. It's just not done quite yet. Kovacic has fully agreed personal terms with City 10 days ago. All parties want the same. Full agreement expected very soon. Interesting.
Good. Buzzing.
So, yeah.
It's genuinely exciting times. Because now, like, every day, you kind of like just waiting on more transfer news. It's been popping off ever since the Champions League final finished. Mm-hmm. You can clearly see that. I think the club must have said to like the Donnies like Jack Gordon and that, hold off on anything until the Champions League final's done, because we don't want anything to unrest it. The Champions League final's done, and then now it's like full send on targets, full send on all this. Tiki and
I think it'll be interesting when we start getting winger notifications or winger links.
Yeah,
because that's the one missing link at the moment. It's that we need a winger. We're not being linked with anyone. Also, the Mahrez developments, is this all just bullshit, or is there actually something concrete in here? You know what I mean? That's another thing that we need to look out for. Because if we let Mahrez go, for me, I think we need two wingers.
Yeah, unless
you're gonna let Cole Palmer go as well.
Yeah, we're literally just getting rid of all of our wingers. No wingers, no fullback season. If
Mahrez goes and Cole Palmer looks like he'll be loaned out, we need two wingers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because let's say we don't sign another midfielder. So the midfield next season is going to be Kevin De Bruyne, Kovacic, Phil Foden, and maybe it's like Perone, right? Which is that's a pretty, not a weak four, but it's a risky four. Because Kovacic is a downgrade on Gundogan. Foden is still inexperienced in the midfield at that level. And Perone is a complete unknown. So it's, that's a bit of a risk. Wingers, you got Jack Grealish, right? And I'm not doing this Phil Foden left wing because he's now a midfielder. And you're going to have no right wingers at all. No right wingers. So
crazy.
You've got one winger at the football club, essentially, Jack Grealish. And some argue he's not even a proper winger. So you're going to have to start at least two wingers. At least two.
Morel there says in the chat, he says, who do you actually think we go for on the wing? He thought LB was chatting shit with his talent drain stuff, but the guy's on something. Yeah, it is. I could see us going for someone like a Diaby. I feel like that would be something like that.
I don't know. It depends what he wants, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Because he come out a couple of months ago now, probably, and said like he's not really that asked about P&P, and he just wants like slow-paced merchants and that. So you've then got to find someone who can play that kind of style. You know what I mean? Or was he just chatting shit at the time? You know what I mean? Does he want to go and get someone who's a little bit faster and that? Honestly, for me, I would seriously consider Sane. I know. Not just saying it because he's an ex-City player. I think he's developed in a nice way. He can play left, he can play right, he can play down the middle. He's worked with Pep before, so hopefully he can hit the ground running. And I think he'd be a great signing. But then you're going to need someone else as well behind him. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Coleman's a shout, but it's going to cost a lot, and there are some injury concerns, but it is a shout.
The Sane rebirth it's like a nice idea, and obviously I want to full send it. But like you say, there's no links.
Xavi Simons just isn't going to come to Manchester City and be a starter, though. He could come to Manchester City and be like a rotational player and backup player. But I'm talking who is going to be our number one right winger next season. I mean, maybe it'll be Foden. Maybe Foden will start right wing next year, and it'll be his position, and we'll go and get another midfielder. Because then you could get Maddison. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
you're still going to need another winger to back up Phil Foden. So you're still going to have to sign someone.
Yeah, I mean, if it is like Phil Ford and we go get Maddison, then we know that both of them two players can rotate and play on that right wing. Obviously, we want to see Maddison inside more, but we do know that he has played right wing all season for Leicester. Rune Dog's there with a 3, says, Warrior UCL for Arsenal. Yes, yes. He says, I've got a Champions League tattoo. Yes, yes, Rune Dog, send it us, innit? We need to see that. And Jared Cliff with 8 months. Yes, yes, Jared. He says, Borges needed a chance in the first team. Pep, I hope you're listening. I'm sure there was some rumours about Borges getting a new contract.
There are rumours getting him a new contract, but whether or not that's true, I mean, I just don't get it. Because if I was him, I'd leave this summer, man. The fact that he didn't even get like a bench appearance and last year was mad. So we'll have to see if he stays. If he stays, buzzing. I want him to stay, but if I was him, I wouldn't stay. I'd leave if I was him.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he could be an
like
option.
Dortmund or something like that would be sick for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Pep's like, you know what, you can be a backup to Grealish. Maybe who knows? You know, he's done a good enough job. It's just whether or not Pep's going to do that, and I don't think so. Kulusevski, a lot of people say
Lewis
Kulusevski.
Gillies there, 35 mil. That's a good deal. That.
Yeah,
He can't. His stonks just kind of went like this, then they went down again. But then is that just because Spurs are fucking shit?
yeah, it's probably because Spurs are shit. But that's the good time to buy, isn't it?
Yeah, stonks are low, innit?
Buy when the stonks are low. That's the aim of the game. So maybe you go for Kulusevski. Would they sell to us? I don't know if that's a thing. Elise, a lot of people want Elise, man. That's a lot of people want Elise. A lot of people on Twitter have been saying Elise as well.
Yeah, I've seen loads of people saying Elise. Loads. And Ciso is obviously one. But I've never seen him play right wing. Does he play right wing?
Chaser. Oh, Chaser, mate. I'd love Chaser.
I'd
love Chaser as a backup, as a rotational. But yeah, again, buy when the stonks are low.
Yeah.
He just doesn't strike me as a Pep player, Chaser. He actually strikes me more of a Klopp player. Just fucking headless
Chaos,
sort of chicken.
Yeah, chaos mode.
Yeah, whereas Pep's more like control and everything's got to be perfect. Where he don't really strike me as that type of guy. He likes to run around and just get active. So,
Nkunku, by the way, Smith, he's a Chelsea player, mate. They've sorted that out now, haven't they? It's so weird, that deal, because it happened ages ago, and now it's just coming to effect.
Yeah, other than that, man, like I say, it's difficult. It's difficult. Whoever you're going to get is probably going to be a downgrade on Mahrez.
Yeah. It'd be nice to go get someone like Rodrigo, innit, from Madrid.
Yeah, that's not.
But it's just not going to happen. His stocks are high.
Valverde is the dream, man.
Valverde would be sick, but again, not happening.
Not happening. That's why it's a dream.
And PayPal.
Yeah, other than that...
It's just the winger situation is just so weird, man.
Yeah, it's difficult. It really is difficult.
Darcy with the 3 there. I can't remember, I just read this out a second ago. Thoughts on Enciso to City. I've seen someone saying Enciso in the chat, that's why. I'm not sure about Enciso to City. Like I said, I don't know he's played left wing.
Surely he's not. It's not going to happen. I think he's had like 6 months game time. Like, not City aren't going to bring him in. Maybe he's a rotational player, but it's going to cost a lot. I don't see that happening.
There was rumours about Nonto from Leeds ages ago. Again, is he a left winger?
I know. Are we saying this guy's good enough for a treble winning team?
He can play right and left. And he's right-footed, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's right-footed. He's sponsored by Puma as well.
Nah, not for me. Not for me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see in it. We'll have to see on that one. I think the winger thing is really difficult. There is a talent drain out there in football, and it's very difficult to sign players. You know, players are getting moves off a single season. You remember Jared Bowen last year? You know what I mean? Everyone was talking about moving into Liverpool or whatever. You know what I mean? And then this season, he's had not a great season. No one's talking about him. So, you know, and this is probably what's happening with some of the names that people are mentioning. So, you know, if you're going to get a player in, especially as the starter, you've got to get someone who's done it a number of times. And that's why if it's me, I'm going Leroy Sané.
I go Leroy Sané, 100%.
I just think it's easy.
I think it's a deal that could get done. I think they'd be willing to sell. I think Sané'd want to come back. Yeah, I feel like Sané is probably the best bet. But our City on that same wavelength that we're on is a different matter.
Well, that's wait and see. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, to summarise the stream, to summarise the news, Manchester City advancing on a deal to sign Josko Gvardiol, looking very confident there. And in the last couple of minutes, we've got news from Fabrizio Romano and James Ollie that Manchester City will complete a deal to sign Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea for around £34 million. The deal is expected to close before July 1st. So there you go. Big news, bro. Big news.
Major. Absolutely major. Fucking gas, you know. Gassed. Gassed.
Yeah, me too.
What a transfer window. What a transfer window so far.
It's going to be madness. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new in it, because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
why not?
You know
what I mean? Why not?
Trying to make moves.
We want that plaque. We want that 100k plaque, innit?
We're trying to get that plaque, man.
LB got that big space on his wall behind him, ready for a plaque, innit? You know what I mean? This space here, it's just been waiting for it. He's got an outline ready to, like, put on.
It's true, man. It's true. Right, buzzing. Pick up, people. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.